Learning target. I can explain why change is physical or chemical. Physical change. A physical change occurs when the appearance of a substance changes, but chemically the substance is the same. Some examples of physical change. Ice melting. Ice melting is a physical change because a new substance is not formed. It is just changing the state of matter from a solid to a liquid. You can change the liquid back to a solid by freezing it. So even though it is melting, it's still ice. It's still H2O. It's just in a liquid form now. Crushing a can. Crushing a can is an example of a physical change. The appearance of the can changed, the shape may have changed, but there is no new substance formed. It is still made up of the same chemicals it was before you crushed the can. Sugar dissolving in water. This is an example of a physical change as well. In order for sugar in water to be a chemical change, a new substance would have to form. When you mix sugar and water together, it simply produces sugar water. The two don't chemically combine together. The substances have maybe changed appearance, but their chemical makeup does not change. If you were to take the sugar water and boil it in a pot, you could actually boil the water out and the sugar would be left in the bottom of the pot. So again, anything dissolving in water is going to give you a physical change. So some important things to remember: physical changes only change the appearance. No new substance is created. Most physical changes can be reversed to the original substance. So like you saw with the ice melting, you could easily take that water, pour it into your ice cube maker, and it would make ice again. So they are able to be reversed. Next is chemical change. A chemical change is usually a reaction involving the rearrangement of atoms to form at least one new substance. Chemical changes typically cannot be reversed. So here's some examples of chemical changes. The first is wood burning. When you burn wood, carbon in the wood reacts with oxygen in the air to create ash, smoke, and energy in the form of light and heat. A new substance is formed, and this is a permanent change that cannot be undone. You cannot take the ashes and turn them back into wood. Another example of a chemical change is nail rusting. It's a chemical change because it is two substances reacting together to make a new substance. So when iron rusts, iron molecules react with oxygen in the air to make a new substance called iron oxide. And rusting of something cannot be reversed. Another example of chemical change is baking a cake. There are a couple different chemical reactions that are occurring in this example. Heat helps baking powder produce tiny bubbles of gas, which makes the cake rise, it makes it light and fluffy. And heat causes protein from the egg to change into a new substance and make the cake firm. So in this example, a new substance is formed that cannot be reversed. So here are some indicators to look for to see if a chemical reaction has occurred. If there is a strong odor, a sudden color change, flames, heat, a loud noise or sound, bubbling or fizzing, or a precipitate forms. And remember, that's when two liquids combine together to make a solid. So some important things to remember about chemical reactions. Chemical changes create a new substance that is completely different from what the substances were before the reaction, and most chemical changes cannot be reversed to the original substance. So just like we talked about the wood burning, you cannot take ashes and revert those back to the wood.